Thanks for joining me.
Oh, for sure.
Woo! We're gonna go there.
Oh, we're going there.
Thank you for watching this special Art Life episode. I'm here with my friend Ryan, and he's helping me answer your questions. Welcome to this very, very special Art Life episode. Originally, this was called hashtag Ask Garibaldi, but I think I want to change the name. So originally it was Ask Garibaldi. I think it should be like Studio Talk.
Studio Talk's nice.
Studio Talk. Only because the last time I did this, it was like edited and cut up, and I want this to be more like just organic, just kind of run through.
Yeah.
I want to introduce you guys to Ryan Revac. There goes my phone, of course. That's how you know.
How we doing?
You
know this is happening.
We're very unprofessional, but I want you guys to meet Ryan Revac. I've known him since, God, too long. You're still here?
Every time
You're
he cracks that joke, it's so old.
Never gets old.
So old.
Never gets old. But I've known him since 6th grade. We used to dance in high school. Many years went on. He's a, tell him about you. Tell him who you are, what you do, where you're from.
I don't really do anything in particular. I do all types of stuff. Right now, if I had to say something like I'm really proud of at the moment, we actually host a podcast in the Warm Wall studio every Tuesday. It's called Earth to Whoever for all of our 5 followers out there. Thank you for listening. But it's a social commentary thing, and luckily to know David, he gave me the space, and we're able to function in this creative atmosphere, and it really turns out really well. So if you could look for that, that'd be amazing. But yeah, that's what we do.
They asked to use the studio for their podcast, and I kind of just end up coming here and seeing him like sleeping on the couch or
so what he's really saying is
upstairs.
He's the one sleeping. He just wanted to pan that off to me.
That's true, yeah.
It's all right. That works.
Right. So we're gonna get into your questions. You posted these questions on my Facebook fan page, on Instagram, and there was like one on Twitter. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
thanks, Twitter. Come on, Twitter. We gotta pick this up a little bit more.
Twitter, you need to step up your game.
Lots of love on Instagram. So we're gonna answer. He's gonna ask the questions, and again, we're just gonna get into this and just have some fun. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
We've got white wine, like it's like we're, I don't know.
This comes right out of the faucet.
2 retired ladies. Yeah.
And it had to be white, and it's chilled for all you guys just curious. Some old lady shit. And I want to say the time right now is about noon.
Dude, don't tell him. It's like 2 somewhere in the world.
Anyway,
all right, let's get into this.
First question coming from Instagram at @OriginalGaryG at Garibaldi Arts. What advice do you have for an emerging and aspiring visual artist?
What advice? Well, I think the first thing you need to understand is if you want to be a professional artist, you need to act professionally. You need to like look at inspiration outside of art. Look at people like entrepreneurs that you may know or get to know, and see like what do they do with their day. And so I say this because someone asked me a while ago. They said, this was like 8+ years ago. They said, if you were a millionaire artist today, what would you be doing different with your time? And that hit me. I was like, oh my God. I wouldn't just be painting, I'd be like building relationships. And also the big thing too is really honing in on my voice and my style. So first thing I would recommend, create what you're passionate about outside of art. For me, it was music. If you're into horses, be like the smartest person and most knowledgeable person about horses there is. And then express that through your art. I think the next thing is start building relationships. Go to auctions, donate your work to charity, and stand there by your work and get to know people. And then the other thing too is like just putting in the work. We can say all day we want to be professional artists.
Professional anything, really.
But I mean, you have to put in the work in the studio, and also the balance of it outside the studio. And so it's a hustle. It's a hustle and everything.
Do you think that when he says aspiring visual artist, do you think that only pertains, for what you're talking about anyways, with visual arts, or is this art in general, whether you're a musician, whether you're, MC or a singer?
I would say visual arts only because that's my,
forte.
That's my thing. That's what I do, who I am. And also I think, just because I've taken those steps to do what I do as a visual and also a performing artist as well.
Okay.
Just a little weird.
Good. There you go. Another question. Next question at Diane P. Pfluger, or Diana Pfluger. One or the other. What is your favorite piece that you have done?
My favorite piece that I've done. So this is more recent. I was asked by my friends at McCooney's, who had a transfusion center at Sutter Health named after them. And originally it was just going to be like the McCooney name plastered up there, and Taro and Jeannie over there at McCooney, they're like, look, we don't just want our name up there. We want some color, some art. So I was like, yeah, I would love to create some art inspired by this. So I was like, we need it like in a month or so. They're like, can you get that to us next week? So I came in the studio, and I think if you see that, we'll put a link up to this. Or if you look at my past videos, the Fighting Cancer one, it was just I think just being encouraged by seeing my friend who has donated so much money to support that program, but also really thinking about the patients. It was really inspired by them and what they're going through. And so if you watch the video, it makes sense. But up until this date, that has been my most recent favorite piece, which it may change next week. But for now, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, accurate.
Yeah.
All right, next question. At Shermizin? Yo, IG got some funky name thing, but SHERMYSZN. Shermizin?
Well, check it out. You don't spell, we're going to put their question.
Okay, cool.
Right,
How you going to spell it? Sorry about that.
So, we got you.
At Shermizin.
Close enough.
Can I photograph you painting next time you're in NYC? All capitals.
How about this? DM me a link so I can check out some of your work. If it's cool, if it's fresh, then we'll figure it out. Simple.
Slide in the DM, yeah. Just saying. All right, and another question from Vicky Carrillo. What are your life goals? Hashtag ask
R's. I like how you rolled the R's there, man.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, out of respect, 2 R's. I already know where this is going. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong.
Yeah, please. Well, leave a comment below if he's wrong.
Leave a comment.
If he messes up your name.
At David Garibaldi.
So what's going on, Ryan? That's messed up.
Leave a comment for David. He'll definitely relay it to me. So, yes. Right. But yeah, what are your life goals?
What are my life goals, man? I think the ones that I can share right now, because there's a lot of things that we're working on, but I think in general, my goal is to popularize the genre of performance painting. I was not the first person. There was Denny Dent. I'm sure there was another version before him and her and so on, whoever else it was. And I won't be the last. I don't want to be the last because I get so much gratification out of this, and so many people have benefited from art in this style that I want more people to do it so that the world can benefit in a way from this genre. I'm really inspired by people like the Gracies. Some would say founders of mixed martial arts, or how would you describe the Gracies?
I mean, in my opinion, they were the first to introduce the idea of the UFC to America. And they helped they packaged original jiu-jitsu, which came from Japan, into their own style, which kind of benefited the smaller opponent. Before it used to be a dominant sport, so they recreated it to kind of fit, I guess, their style or their physical stature. So, and in turn, the competition was kind of more or less to put their art out there. So in a sense, they are very big pioneers in kind of looking at, I guess, martial arts in a different way. And I can totally see what you're going at there.
Yeah.
Because it does make sense. The people do need to, not necessarily they don't need to see this, but it is a underrepresented form of art that is emerging, and it seems more or less, in my opinion, one of the more funner ones to do.
Yeah, and there's definitely challenges. You have to establish a foundation like you would in breakdancing, like you would in mixed martial arts. You've got to learn these different mixed arts. Like dance is part of it, music, having that musicality, and then actually painting, and then doing it all together, which is a performance. So yeah, I would just, my dream is to popularize this art form, this genre, and help create a foundation so that those of you watching this, those of you who are asking me, like, how do you learn how to do this style? I want you to build on it. I want you to take it to the next level. That's what I want. That's my dream. And so whatever I do in my lifetime, I hope that you raise the bar just a little bit more.
Nice. Awesome. That'll work.
That's one dream. I also want to run a marathon at some point.
How many miles?
I mean, like, is there is there a
like
mile and a half marathon?
Yeah, like running downtown.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna do it, but I mean, if you want to do it.
You know what?
It's not like
marathon,
5Ks are normal.
No, they have those down Midtown Sacramento. They have those beer bikes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, so,
is that considered a marathon? I'm just saying, that's usually
that?
done on like a Friday afternoon, Friday night.
That's like my kind of marathon. Like, can we do that?
No, they have plenty of them, like, the turkey runs, the 5Ks,
Yeah.
all these little things.
There's the donut run.
Yeah.
That's my kind of
The
marathon.
funny one they had in Sacramento was the one with hella, like, color. Which one is that?
Color run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't done that, or you never did anything with them.
Well, because you run. No, I like to run.
You should run and perform.
Yeah, I like to run. Yeah, but it's the running
Separately.
beyond 3 miles is the challenge. So,
Is that something in your near future?
it's a dream still. It's not a goal. There's a
I'm
big
not even at
difference.
30 miles.
It's a dream still. It's
That's
not
not my
it's not a
dream.
goal.
It's a dream.
Big difference.
Keep on
Dreaming is
dreaming.
free.
All right, next question. At BOCES Coronado, or BOCES Coronado, when did you realize this is what you wanted to do, and how did you come up with this idea? Does your son get involved a lot into your work? Hashtag Ask Garibaldi.
Yeah. What I do now is a mixture of my life passions. It's, music, dance, art, all that stuff, painting. And then I think also performing through dance.
Yeah.
And so, but I was really inspired by Denny Dent, who started this kind of style of painting. But doing it so much, and then my son seeing it now, it's funny, when he was a little bit younger, he had this chalkboard in the house, and he would like pick up the chalk and like throw it at the board, and he'd like jump around and like scream, and I'm like, is this what I look like? It's like, yep, pretty much. I look like a toddler throwing chalk. So he comes in the studio, he paints a little bit. My daughter.
The dynamic's interesting, because you've done this for a long time. You can only imagine, would you ever want him to follow in your footsteps, or do you see this more as a vehicle of expression for passion?
I mean, if it's a phase in his life, awesome. If it helps build him to the next thing that he's into, awesome. If this is what he wants to do, I could definitely help him. But it's up to him, whatever he wants to do. I mean, I was a crazy one that decided to do something weird like this. So if he wants to do something weird or that's known as normal, it's up to him. Whatever makes him happy. Or my daughter.
Yeah. Your daughter ever get into the painting thing, or is it still? Oh.
She's way more of like an earthy, like creative.
Barefooted.
Like, I already can see her
ribbons.
like what was that, Burning Man? Just I don't know, dancing in the sunset, painting with her, or I don't know. She's crazy.
Painting with her aura. Hashtag
Try
check
it.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Chris Ramdas. Hey David, I have 2 questions. First, I wanted to know exactly what kind of brushes you use. They look so huge but effective, as they have to cover such a huge canvas in such a short amount of time. Also, I wanted to know what you do when you come across an artistic block of some kind. What do you do to get yourself creating again, creating again when you feel like you're stuck?
Yeah. So the first question, the brushes, I use so many different types of brushes. I'll go to the Home Depot paint section. I'll look at different size brushes that you use to paint your home. To when I'm like in Amsterdam, there's a place that sells these. They're called sash brushes. If you Google a sash brush, you'll see what I'm talking about. And there's another place in Canada. I can't remember what it's called, but I literally search for everything. There's no really specific one besides. Go to the paint aisle at Home Depot and try some different things out, see what works for you. And again, I talked about it before, but I hope that we can grow this genre of painting so that, yes, that's what I use, but I really want to learn, what do you use? If that answers the question.
So basically all the brushes you can use are readily available at your local hardware store or local art show or art store.
Yeah, there is nothing special about my brushes. They're literally off the shelf. They're not custom made. I just, it's what I do with them that makes them different and special. But use your hands, elbows, whatever.
And then the second part of the question was the writer block thing, or the artist block.
Yeah.
What you run into, how do you get out of it?
It definitely happens. I definitely get the artist block, and what I try to do, so I don't get to that point, is you gotta stay creative. Even if I'm not happy with what I'm creating at the time, where, I start painting and I'm like, oh, this really isn't coming out well. You guys can't see this right now, but behind the camera, there's 3 canvases that are not done because I just started it and I'm not really feeling it, and maybe I'll get back to it. But I think the point is I stay creative so that when I'm in a block, I just keep creating. And it doesn't, not every painting needs to be perfect. Not every drawing needs to be perfect. And that's the beauty of creativity, is there are no rules. And don't think that everything you have to create has to be a masterpiece. Just create. And that's how I think, one, you prevent artist blocks, and two, that's how you get out of it. You just get back to creating.
Keep on.
I also tap into other passions like music. I already know things that I can put on that will help spark ideas, or things that I can do to help spark ideas. Oh, I just got an idea.
Ideas.
Ideas.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, next question. LaRose Man. With all the inspiration...
Real quick, shout out to LaRose. Thank you. You're always commenting on the videos and my posts. So thank you, LaRose, for sending the question in. But all right.
Boom. LaRose Man. With all the inspiration that comes out of you in your shows and after going to the White House, what will you now include in your shows that inspired you from that day? Blessings, David.
Yeah. I would say encouragement. The fact that we have a president that put on a music festival at the White House, to me, I think should be encouraging enough to any creative living in this country and beyond. It's important for people to know that their ideas are valued and to be encouraged, so that this is a place that we want to keep creating. Who knows what's going to happen the next election cycle? We don't know, but for the time being, I think what I took from that moment, no matter what the future holds, is that this is a country and a place that values creatives enough so that they're going to put on a music and arts and idea festival on the White House lawn.
Were you able to think about anything that, from that particular experience, that you would like to specifically add to your show, or is it just more of an experience where I'll put a bigger emphasis on this?
Yes. If you watch the video again, it's kind of a new color technique that I'm working on. It's unlike the stuff that I've done in the past. So I'm kind of incorporating that into future shows and paintings. So that's on the more technical side. Yes.
All right, next question. We have Joshua Adams. Marvel or DC?
Oh, that's easy.
Is it?
That's easy. DC.
It's easy. DC. Why DC?
DC, because Batman.
Oh, is that supposed to be the mic drop?
That's it.
We're supposed
Because
to be done
Batman.
after that?
Stop this.
Batman, okay.
Batman. I love Batman's modes of transportation. His cars.
So it's a car thing.
It's car thing. I mean,
he chose DC because the car ride.
He may
was
not
legit.
be the best superhero, the most natural superhero, because a lot of superheroes, it's like in their blood, their genes.
Yeah, he's actually not born of a superhero trait, essentially.
Yeah, and I admire that. He kind of he's the entrepreneur of superheroes. I like that, and he's got some fly cars.
He's a human being or a normal person to have a superhuman ability that he was not born with.
We could all be Batman.
That's actually a good one.
I like that.
I'm gonna have to change my stance on that. I'm more of a Marvel guy, but
I forgive you.
Marvel's where it's at. If you look at the
Yeah.
artwork in the 90s,
Yeah.
it was insane. Their storylines are crazy. The movies that they're coming out with are insane.
I think it's insane to be
In this world,
to
and
be a
watching
kid, like
this.
growing up reading comic books, actually
Yeah.
like having collections
Yeah.
and boxes of them.
Yeah.
And never thinking that they would become these huge blockbuster hits.
It's insane of how many shows and like media, anything like that has permeated into pop culture, which is amazing because you're starting to see your fantasies essentially live out. I'm not really a nitpicking type of person when I watch movies, but I know it's out there. But for me, it's like you said, it's enjoyable to see your your youth kind of play out on the real screen.
Yeah.
So DC it is.
The fact that we even are having this conversation
Is insane.
is awesome. Thank you for that question.
We're essentially adulting, and we're talking about Marvel DC and with passion. So, you're Live Speed Painter. Do you collaborate with other speed painting artists?
Interesting. I've collaborated with one, which is our friend Ricky.
Yes.
And if you look him up, I'm gonna shout him out right now at the Ricardo Arts on Instagram. I believe that's what it is. Ricky was an amazing, talented dancer. He went through a program that I sort of developed.
Yep.
We're not going to go too much into that, but helped him with his performance painting. And then I brought him on a UK TV show that we performed on, and he kind of assisted more as like a dancer in some of the painting parts, but he's now, doing his thing. And there's another guy, Dave Sharp, that I hope to collaborate with. Vilas Nayak in India. Man, there's like performance painters and live speed painter.
Yeah.
Let's ask the question. So I have yes before, and I hope to in the future. If the stars align and we can make it happen. Hopefully.
Is there in terms of labels, I know labels aren't really the biggest thing, they should never be a biggest thing with artists, but in terms of speed painting, what would be the biggest difference between like speed painting and performance painting? Is there a difference, or is it just more minuscule in the way that it's worded? I mean, because you hear both terms and they seem to be referenced under the same thing, but in my honest opinion, I feel they're different, but from your standpoint, what do you see, or is it even important,
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Is this Anderson Cooper? I'm Anderson Cooper! No. That's a great question. Don't take this the wrong way, or don't discourage you from using any term. I look at it differently. There is a difference between speed painting, which is just going to get done quick, getting it done in a short amount of time, and then there's like a painting at the end. The performance painting to me is about making it an experience, about striving to entertain an audience, striving to captivate an audience. I feel like they're two different things. I don't think one is better than the other.
Just two different.
But I feel like you can define speed painting. And I think that term gets thrown around more. I kind of just let it slide most of the time. But if you really look at what it is, what you're defining with those words, speed is about speed, about getting it done quick. Performance is about engagement with your audience. So think about that, how you label yourself and what you want to strive for. So there are speed painters. I hope to encourage more performance painters. I feel like audiences will get more of a value out of that.
True. Agreed. Good response. Next question.
Thank you, Anderson Cooper.
At prick_Davies. This is a long question, so I'm going to try to get to this. How do you feel about taking the performative act of painting in the plastic tradition of the abstract expressionists and synthesizing it with a portraiture of celebrities for largely corporate? Do you feel stagnant with this as the commercial aspect of your practice, or do you consider it purely the way you feed yourself/family versus what you might produce in the studio outside of public scrutiny?
Yeah, that's a deep question.
That's very deep.
But that's a great question.
Very good question.
When I started in my studio, like learning this performance painting style, and then I put out into the world, you can't always decide who's gonna gravitate towards it. If what I have liked more of like a live music audience to be gravitated towards, I just do like live music events, that would have been awesome. That would be awesome. I mean, there's a lot of other scenarios I'm like, I wish that what I put out into the world, that these people are gravitated towards what I'm doing. But it just so happens that corporate settings, they also want to hear more than the performance. They want to hear my story and hear me speak. And so I look at it, hopefully this answers the question, what I've put out into the world and what's come back, I'm happy with that. Because I was happy with what I put out in the first place, which was learning how to create portraits and paintings in an entertaining, engaging way. That was my goal. The result was I didn't get to decide who was into it. So I don't see it as, I think the last part of the question was like, do I just kind of see it as something I feed my family with, or do I do other stuff out of the spotlight?
Do you feel stagnant doing it?
No, because when I started, this is what I wanted to do. I'm actually happy doing this. I love it. And I do get to points where I want to improve it too. I want to continually grow in this. I think that's the thing that you have to keep in mind, that on the outside you may see that I'm doing something similar, but if you look at my very first paintings 13 years ago, and then look 6 years ago, look 3 years ago, and look now, the goal is that we've done this in growth and improvement and better quality paintings, better quality shows, better quality everything. And I think another thing I want to add to this is I focused on one thing. A lot of artists, they get into like design and painting and sculpture and like look at all this stuff. That's cool. I just focus on one thing and I'm happy with that. And so yeah, I see it as more as yes, like I'm glad I get to feed my family, most importantly off of something that I love. So
nice. Yeah,
that's a great question.
Really good question. Very. A lot of big words there.
A lot of big words. You stumbled,
this?
Ryan.
And I was like, hey, I mean, this is really hard to take. But I mean, it was a really good question.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I don't think people understand that I mean, for me, watching, obviously, the development of this idea to where it is now, and I think you said it really well, is you do improve it constantly. And I think it's, like you said, like I didn't have a choice on my audience. It was more of, I saw it, I try to work with it. I created whatever it is that you felt along with it, and then out into the world. And then you just kind of roll with it to where a lot of quote unquote artists, whether you're performance or whether you're a regular, it's anything to do with this type of structure of art, I guess. A lot of people don't pass that barrier. It's safe to say there's always that struggling artist thing that's always a forever struggling artist. And not to say you're not a struggling artist, but you're definitely on a different side of it. And I think to really drive it home to be, I actually love doing this, and within that you actually improve it. That's why it doesn't really get stagnant. Because I read that and I was like, I get what he's coming from. Yeah. But like you said, I don't think you're not doing the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Gostacal. Sorry if I messed up that name, IG.
Comment below, tell him if he messed it up.
Yeah, but I mean, this is hard. Gostacal, I'm like, this is foreign to me.
Yeah.
Anyways, you killed it at NBA 3-on-3 event in Miami.
Okay, thank you.
Who's your favorite team and player?
Woo! We're gonna go there.
Oh, we're going there.
Oh, we're going there.
Better save another hour.
We are about to go there. All right, man. Let me start with this. I am a fan of players more than I'm a fan of an actual team. Okay. So let me start. Was there a team question in there?
No, he just wanted to give you props on the Miami 3-on-3 event.
Okay. Well, no, we're gonna go. Let's just go there. Yo, let's go there.
Let's go.
All right. So I'm from Sacramento. So naturally, when it comes to the team, I gotta support my home team. Sacramento
Kings.
You know, DeMarcus, the homie, Willie Cauley-Stein, the homie. Like, I gotta support them. When it comes to players. No matter where they go, no matter what team they're on, I mean, Chris Paul is one of my favorite players.
That's interesting.
On and off the court.
Why Chris Paul? Just a little sentence.
This is part of it is I think he's very underrated. Okay. I think that I don't think he's always been paired with the right team around him. I think in other scenarios he would have been more in the contention for
a lot of people
championships.
Would definitely argue that.
I would love to have seen him on Golden State besides Kevin Durant. That would have been dope. That would have been interesting. Because he is a clutch player.
He's very good. I think you are correct in saying he's very underrated. Yeah. Whether it's a market thing or whether he's a short point guard, whatever his thing is, he's actually been really consistent. So I kind of agree with that. That's a really
And I'll
interesting
share another really cool story. So I was in China with the NBA. We were and we were there. I was doing halftimes and I was performing for the Clippers and Miami Heat halftime. Okay. So we did Beijing, Shanghai, and I remember, and I had met him like once before. And I'm in the middle of the court about to perform, and I hear this like little tap on my shoulder. He's like, I turn around, Chris Paul's standing there like sweating. He's like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? What are you doing? I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna perform for these people. I was like, so stupid. What are you doing? He's like, oh man, just here playing a basketball game. Like, He was just so down to earth, and I've seen him several times after that. He's always been that guy, just like down to earth. So, anyways, I'm a fan of that type of player. Kills it on the court, on and off.
Who else?
Man,
who else are you a fan of? You do actually a lot of NBA shows. Like, how many NBA shows do you think you do? Last year, how many did you think you did?
At least like 6 to 8.
You do quite a bit.
Halftimes. But we have a great relationship with the NBA. Yeah. Outside of the teams, the actual NBA as well. Yeah, because you've traveled with Dream Team. You've done a lot of halftime shows. Like, you're like all over the playoffs. Like, you know, it's crazy. I feel like what I do can be compared to sports a lot. We do a lot of sports events. Yeah. And normally you wouldn't see art and sports connected in that way. But with what I do, imagine this. You're watching me jump around, painting something, and you immediately feel sorry for me. You're like,
halftime is very tough.
Compared to like, you're 40 points behind.
Yes.
That's what my canvas looks like when I've got a few dots on it, and you're like, what is going on? I'm 40 points behind.
Yeah.
And then you start to see this image kind of coming to life. I'm still confident. So now it's like a 20-point split.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of making a comeback. I don't know. Is he going to make it? Who knows? The same emotions now are being associated with your favorite team coming back or watching a team come back. And then we get to this last minute on the clock.
Yeah.
And they're like, I think he has a chance. The painting starts coming to life. And then the audience, I think, feels like they've been a part of this journey.
Yeah.
Within 6 minutes, they've gone through the emotions of watching your team come back.
A thrilling NBA comeback,
And the baseball,
you name it.
The other team is up 4 points. It's
the bottom of the ninth, and you only have like one chance to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that emotion that's involved. And so from the experience that I've had, I feel like it's very similar. I feel like sports fans connect more with what I do than art fans.
Yeah. It's very intense what you do.
It's a very similar emotion.
Yeah.
So maybe that's also why we do so much with the NBA, where it connects, because there's that similar emotion associated with it. Who knows? I don't know. It's fun. Honestly, I like the fact that we do NBA shows, because I actually get to go to NBA games. And I can geek out and watch Chris Paul.
As a
players.
regular person.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nice. All right, next. G3, I'm assuming getlucky.art with the 3 as the E. First, love your work, inspiring. How did you come up with your own style with art, and any tips how beginning artists can discover their style?
Yes. I feel like your personal style is based on your experience or what you've been exposed to, and then your actual skill level or skill set, the mixture of those two. So first off, you just got to start creating. And if you're not happy with what you're seeing, learn some new skills. If you're not really good with paints, don't paint. If you're better with charcoals, just do that. But work on your skills, because the goal is to get an idea out of our head. And we need to use these tools and learn how to use them to get that idea out. For example, filmmakers. Directors, they have a vision. They've got to bring this written story to motion picture. And you've got to learn how to use different cameras, different tools, how to work with a team. So now associate that with us being artists, visual artists. The camera for a filmmaker is a set of paints for us. It's different size brushes. It's so, and also again the exposure, like what you're exposed to, the artists that inspire you. Finding your style is a journey. My style has changed a lot over the past 13 years. You can look at my early stuff, and it was all inspired by down the street at a jazz club, painting what I saw, what I was exposed and experienced to. As the years went on, and I started exposing myself to different music, like rock and roll, like jazz, more jazz, but like hip hop, like EDM. It has influenced my style in some way. So it's all about what you're exposed to. You can either expose yourself to many different things to give yourself options, or for inspiration, or to get better at using the tools. And take classes, fail, try, keep trying. It's a journey.
Find your own style.
Journey. Oh, hold on, I want to add something too. Whatever your style is, don't let anyone knock you for that.
Yeah, it's true.
The question has always been brought up with me, your stuff looks like this person and so on. It's like that, well, maybe we had similar experiences.
Constantly.
And I can't change who I am.
Yeah.
I can't change who they are. Whether people accept it or not, that's up to them, and I'm gonna create regardless.
Yeah.
But be happy with what you create.
Yeah, because you necessarily can't choose what you've been exposed to. You can't choose. A lot of your early childhood development in anybody's situation is you never get to pick it. You just basically just get thrown stuff at you, and you kind of just take that in and you continue to develop. It's an interesting thing, because I know I'm assuming as artists are out there, we've been around for so long, like in terms of just human beings.
Yeah.
So many of these things have been done in the biggest spectrum, if not the smallest one, and it's always that case of like, oh, that kind of looks like this. We're always looking to draw some kind of comparison, and I think to what you said, or kind of to reiterate, it's like you continue to do that. You are unique because there's always going to be a tweak. There's always going to be something different, and you can't let like others, I guess in words, deter you, because like anything else. There's always some kind of something else that's been done. I'm not going to say nothing's original per se, but let's just consider the idea we've been here for so long, and it only makes sense that you continue to develop who you are and be comfortable with who you are as an individual. Because I'm all about that too. I definitely stress that, because navigating through this and really trying to find yourself is already hard as it is. Yeah. And then to find it as an artist, it's like tenfold, because you're willing to put yourself out there as an individual, only to be, basically scrutinized.
And then you do it, and you're scrutinized. It's like, don't care what they think.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're happy, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Because I say it's a journey of finding your style, because life is that journey of being happy and finding those things. So, I mean, and also just, you have to be realistic too, that whatever style you develop, to really be self-aware and understand that maybe some people may not be into that.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy creating. If people are into it, awesome. If they're not, it's okay too.
It is.
Yeah. So is that the last question?
I mean, pretty much. I don't really have anything else.
All right. Well, either way, thank you to all of you who sent in the questions via Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. At Ryan the Revac, be sure to give him a follow. And your podcast. Tell them about your podcast.
Yeah, podcast, Art to Whoever. We record every Tuesday here at War on Walls in Sacramento. We'll put it on Facebook Live on the Facebook page. Just a lot of something very similar to this, to be honest. It's very similar, off the cuff. Some explicit language, but we try to keep it loose. We try to have a dialogue, but no different than here. We're really trying to do on the pod, just like what David's trying to do here, is inspire creativity, find an individual between yourself, kind of those things. But it was a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me do this, brother.
No, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought about this. Let us know if you want to see more of this, if you want to send in more questions. I would love to do this kind of dialogue later on. Yeah. And so, I'm Garibaldi.
At Ryan the Revac, you know what's good.
This is ARTLIFE. Peace. Thank you so much for watching this ARTLIFE episode. I'm David Garibaldi. If you want to see some more, be sure to hit that subscribe button, or you can always hit the like button here on this page. Here at ARTLIFE, we always live by one rule, and that is that life is for living.